Hey guys, we did a video removing and refitting the brake pads and applying the copper-ease to the backing plates. It was a little bit edited, to keep it short for you, about 10 minutes. Now this one, we're going to try and keep it down to 10 minutes. This is the problem, guys. We want to make it short for you so we don't waste your time, but it's all the information. It just takes so long to get it out there. So what we're going to do now, instead of talk, we're going to get the job done, bada bing, right? Using basic tools, right? Just like the other video, watch that. There may be a bit of other information in here from a different perspective, so I'm not telling you the same thing. I'm just getting on with the job, and you might just see, you might pick up something else. I don't know, there could be something, this is what happens sometimes in videos, right? Things don't work out the way they're meant to. I'm going to leave those pins there again like the other side, right? Catch that in case it springs somewhere when you whatever, right? So we're just going to go put that. I like to put things on the side still. All right, simple as that. Now I'm literally going to leave it rolling while I go to the bench and spend a minute or two. Right, outer pad, right? The outer pad, remember, it hasn't got the wear indicator on it. The inner pad has got the wear indicator at the bottom there. Over to the bench. On the clean bench, I'm going to lay the lining face down. So I could bring you over, but then I'd have to move you to take more time, whatever. I'm taking the backing plates off. They just clip on. Right, it's really simple. I don't need to demonstrate that. Backing plate off one. Backing plate off the other one, finger into the copper-ease, putting a little bit on the back of the pad, right where I see those little metal, so you can see where it's kind of been rubbing and vibrating, I believe, right? And the confirmation is going to be in the video afterwards, right? Now a little bit of copper-ease on the, so a little bit, just really, you don't need to smother it, guys. This stuff doesn't melt, the copper-ease. You can't just use any grease, okay? This is what I'm saying. You've got to watch all the videos, because I didn't say that in the other video, did I? But I've said it in other videos as well, right? If you want to get the education and you want to know what I know, you need to watch all the videos. It's just, this is a very small snippet of, as I keep saying, it's like a million-piece jigsaw puzzle. There's no end to it. There's so much information. I'm never going to run out, right? So, I'm just painting very lightly the copper-ease onto the back of the backing plate and spreading that around, right? You kind of want to see it, do you? You want to see exactly how much I put on? Alright, well I'm done over here, so I'll quickly bring you the back of the brake pads, show you those, right? There's the back of the brake pads, kind of where the piston goes. Right, back to the bench for those. Now I'll show you these backing plates as well. This is what I put on the inside of the backing plate, right? I'm going to go put those back on the brake pads where they came from, and it just sits in position. You can't go wrong. Wouldn't really matter even if you mix them up. Inners and outers are the same. Always check your brake pads. They sometimes say inner and outer, and I've already pointed out that your wear indicator normally goes on your inner. Now I'm just putting a small amount of grease right only where the piston's making contact. There's no point making a big mess. Right where the piston's making contact on that backing plate. A little bit of copper-ease. Did I call this rubber grease at some point? I see that might have been a mistake if I did. I do these things, right? Copper-ease, not rubber grease. I may or may not have. I'm not even going to check. I'm just going to upload the video and going to put it out there, right? So if I do say something that's wrong, feel free to shoot me a text message and go, oh, you said that. I think you said it by accident. I know what you meant, but if you think there's something that we made a mistake, right? Let me know. I'm going to bring these pads over and get them back in there. I'm just putting the lid on the copper-ease, not rubber grease. Rubber grease is on the shelf next to it though. We use that on suspension components. The main thing we're going to use rubber grease on that you need to know about, really, because with Toyota suspension components, you don't actually need rubber grease, right? All right, these pads, the one, that's what it looks like, right? The one without the wear indicator goes on the outside, right? Right, one-handed, because I'm holding the other pad in the other hand, trying to do things sort of quick for you without it. Right, the one with the wear indicator, that's the wear indicator. What does that do? See, it wasn't in the other video. See, it sticks out a little bit more, and when you start hearing it scraping noise, it's the wear indicator, mate. It's time to organise your pads, but don't wait for that, because you don't always hear it. And we've seen some pretty, not good. So let's get this pin in on this side. What are we, 4 minutes, not bad. So I reckon we'll knock this one off. There could be some more important information still coming though. Let's get that one sat in there. And that's sat there. We'll do this a little bit different to the other side, eh? A little bit different for you. You can use a hammer and just give it a bit of a, Tap, 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 tap if you like. I'm just mucking around with a screwdriver because I haven't got a hammer here. Here you go, side cutters. Not going to matter, it's going to go in, you know, a bit of resistance because the pads have got to line up. We've had them out, right? Top one, that can go in too. Right. Don't bash something hard. You should never have to force anything. Hammers, right? Hammers are for putting nails in fences, okay? When it comes to a car, most things, if you're going to use a hammer, it's a bit of a tap. It's more of a tap. You need to wiggle things to get them into alignment, you know what I mean? So what do we got to do now, guys? We've got to get these little pins in. Again, a bit different to last time. So we'll just go, whoops, that didn't work, did it, see? Right, pull this down a bit, will help get it in the hole. You didn't see it happen, but you saw how I did it, right? Different ways to do things, right? I'm trying to be a bit different, you know? Okay, so that needs to kind of go down to get that in the hole. Make sure it's in the hole. They're both in the hole, that's all good. Give it a wiggle, yep. Don't forget to retain your pins, right? This little clip that retains the pins, like I said in the other video. Now the pins, you need to bring around to around about the right spot. Where's this one? Can't even see it, there it is. Okay, so one's in. Get the other one in the hole. Wiggle it to about its central point. Pop the clip in, right? You could say, how easy is that? And you think you're an expert. Well, you probably could be. Just don't forget anything. Remember what I said to you. Complete these works at your own risk. It is dangerous. Consider yourself, your family, and other people and their families before you go ahead and become a brake specialist. I've been doing this for decades, including working in businesses as brake specialists, you know, ABS, you know, Brakes Plus, other brake businesses, whatever. Changed a lot of brake pads, done a lot of brake repairs, but as you can see there, that's done. What else can I tell you? Now I'm looking at what can I give you to make up the next 10 minutes. Now, okay, well, let's go to the next step. You actually wanted to see if your brake pads are worn down, how to change your brake pads. Well, the only difference is, besides an inspection, because when things get older, you do need to inspect the boots. The pistons, when you push them back, you need to make sure they go back normally. And that's where it's a bit harder for you to know, is that normal? Oh, that's a bit hard. Is that meant to be like that? Or that's a bit easy. And you know, if there's any signs of leaks or deterioration, any fluid around these boots, you've got problems. Any damage or nicks, if you know you damaged a boot by accident, you know, you went, you know, whatever, you slipped putting that clip and you went stab and put a stab mark right there in that rubber, then you're going to be the one that caused the problem. Again, it's not the Toyota, it's not the quality product here, it's the people that work on it. Most of the time with a lot of these problems, it's the work that got done, or the work that didn't get done, or didn't get done right, or the wrong parts. Again, genuine parts. Look at these genuine pads, how long they last. I just don't like the fact that they squeal. Okay, what else? I told you, make sure the pad surface here stays clean, right? And the pads, you know, the lining, the contact, the friction points stay nice and clean. You can use brake cleaner. It's El Cheapo, you know, $3 or $4 a can. Get it when it's cheap at, you know, those usual auto stores that have their sales where they're about half price is about what it's worth. I don't know what else I can tell you. So when it comes to, okay, so the right way, if you're replacing your brake pads, it's a good idea if you do one side and one at a time. So if you're going to do your front pad, you might just want to complete this. That way, if anything goes wrong, you can compare to the other side over there and go, oh, that's how it goes, you know, to compare for clips and stuff like that. So there's a good tip for those that hung around. Please, if you like that one, give us a thumbs up. And the other thing is, yeah, I suppose how to push the pistons back. And there's a number of different ways to do that. But sometimes, and you can't really just use the screwdriver and lever with these because it's not a floating caliper where you can do that sometimes, like the rear brakes. You can't do that with the front. So your best way for a DIY, and you've got to be very careful if you remove the caliper, because there's a fixed brake line here and it's not flexy, right? And you don't want to be disconnecting it. So that's another story. We'll do that in another video because we don't want to take too long. We've got about another minute. We're going to keep it down to 10 minutes. What do we got? So best way to push the pistons back could possibly be remembering if your pads are worn right down, you're not going to have much left here. So if you're replacing your rotors or not, could come into it. Now, you may be able to, with the right size screwdriver, be able to just gently, if your caliper's in good condition, gently get in there, and do not go that way and gouge the surface, your braking surface, right? That surface there of the rotor. Your angle has got to go that way. But if you could just gently go in there, you may be able to then increase that and just gently lever. You're only levering against the outside edge of the rotor there. It's not going to damage it or do anything to your brakes. but it's not always the best way. That's one of the easy DIY ways to do it, right? Just gently get in there and leave it that way. You're only going to damage your pad with the end of the screwdriver. You're replacing it. Remember I said it might depend if you're replacing your pads or not, right? So if you are, that's the next most common thing after what we've done now to the next level. We'll have other videos on that when we do, so please subscribe and turn that bell on. I'm going to go see, we've got the chopper out there by the sounds of it. Copper chopper. What's going on? I think the chopper wants to land on site here. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you got something of that, please give us a thumbs up and turn the bell on, subscribe so you don't miss the next important bit of info. Take it easy, see ya.